Well, hello, model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Rao, and I wanted to show you this particular project, even though it's been on and off my desk for quite a bit, and I haven't been too serious about actually getting it completed. Just when I felt like working on it, I've been working on it. But if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, and you guys have been around for a while, you know I really like my Baldwin Motion Corvettes. And I like any of the supercars of those times, the heavily customized and one-off cars. And while they all have some great stories, this is one that I really like, which is why I've got a few of them. And if you've been watching the channel, I showed my original build, which prompted me to build this one along with this one. This one I built and kind of restored on the channel as it came to me as a partially built up. So this one right here, just to recap a little bit for you guys, this one is pretty much the Revell kit right out of the box, without doing any mods to it. I pretty much left the motor alone, side pipes, wheels and tires. Other than not using the decals, I did a video on painting these stripes. So no decals on this one. This one's flat out painted. And I just did it pretty much box stock right out of the kit and enjoyed building it. It ended up getting done before that one, even though I started that one first. But I was just refreshing myself and just kind of enjoying building this one like I did the original. So this one actually got done first, even though this one came to me as a built-up resin, which I'm going to throw some pictures at the end of this of some of these vehicles and how they came. But this one is a Mini Exotics resin conversion kit, body and so many parts. But I got this directly from Jerry Chevalier, and I got to meet him and know him and talking about different cars and projects. And I let him know that this was one of my holy grails and I haven't been able to find it. And he had one that he started many years ago and didn't finish. So he sold it to me, and I ended up building it on a channel and building this one. So, there's lots of videos of me building this one and the custom paint and all the drama that went into this one. And this one is decal. That's not paint. The gold is custom painted, and that's not. But, I did the whole motor, wired it, put different valve covers, and changed a few things. And kept the wheels as Jerry kind of started it and finished the thing. And I pretty much, stripped it and pretty much started all over. But enjoyed building this one, and this was a holy grail of mine. So to meet Jerry and get this, it's kind of a whole story on itself, but that's been featured. But while those videos were happening, I had mentioned this, so this one came to me through that as well. So this is also 69 Baldwin Motion Phase 3 GT. But this is an earlier version where it still had the stock headlights and the stock taillights, but it had the GT rear window, the reversed scallops, and then the fender flares and everything on it. So I had gotten this one, and this came from Mickley Gerace. I believe it's how it's said. Gerace. Sorry if I say it wrong, but and I've bought resin parts from him before, but this is something that he used to make, and he offered it to me, and so I jumped on it. So I've had this one for close to 2 years now, and cleaned it all up and been kind of playing with it. Now I've got pictures of the body and everything, and it wasn't perfect. No resin bodies are. So I had to fix some scaling and stuff that was on here, miscellaneous little bubbles. These vents been hard to work on, opening them up, cleaning them out there. And they're still not perfect, but they're definitely much more presentable. And there's some tricks I'll point out that I did to it too. And then opened up this kit hood. So this is actually the plastic hood, and I filed it, cut it, drill holes in it, and remove that scoop so it's not blocked off. And I actually did that to all three of these. So they're all the Revell kit hood, but they're no longer molded shut. So Took care of the hood, got this hood fitted much better because they don't fit very well. This one was really tight, so I had a lot of sanding around the hood to get it to fit. And it's still kind of an issue, so when I get paint on this, I'm still kind of worried about it. But it fits. Drilled and pinned the mirrors. But some of the things I've had to do, there were some holes here, filled that in, and you can see on the inside here, I put some strip styrene right here. So there's some strip styrene there on both sides, and glued that in there, and then put the putty in there. And it's funny because there's a big hole there, and you can see where it warped the plastic, but this side's all smoothed out, even though there's a piece of chrome that's going to go on top of that because this thing has side pipes. So you'll see all of that done, and then patching and fixing little things. You can see some super glue right there where I'd filled in a pinhole, a couple other pinholes I filled in, cleaned up, and some other little things here. Drilled holes for the mirrors, pinned those. So got all of that done. So this thing is almost ready for paint, but I just kind of wanted to show you. Oh, and some of the little things that you end up doing, or that you can do. Like here's an example right here. Point at it. You see it right there. There's a like paper towel right there, and I had misdrilled a hole and put super glue on there, kind of like fiberglass resin, and glued it there because super glue glues to resin really well. So that's kind of like fiberglass mat and everything. And then I had on one of these vents here, there were some chips in them. So getting to fill some of those holes and whatnot. So I put little dabs of super glue or whatever to get them in there, and putty. But to keep it really thin, I did the same thing on it, on this side in here. It's hard to see, but you can kind of see it's a little bit thicker right there. You can kind of see it right there. There's a piece of paper that I put in there, an actual piece of paper. And I did the same thing. Super glued the paper to the inside. I used my toothpick. This is a Q-tip, but I used my toothpick to push it against the wall, put a couple of dabs of super glue, get that paper in there, and get the super glue on there, and then a super glue dot on this side, which you can see right there. There's a super glue dot. And then sanded it smooth to fill in the hole, but keeping it very thin. And you can see it's a little bit thicker than the other ones, but I may try and sand that a little bit more. But now that it's glued, some of the tips and tricks to working with resin or how to fill in tiny little holes, and especially badly placed ones like that particular one was, because it's really hard to put a piece of putty in there, glue another piece of styrene, a couple of different ways to deal with that. But that's how I chose to handle that, and it worked. I got a little pinhole right here to fill, but I'm not too worried about it because once I realized I filled all that and there's a piece of chrome going on, I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, and there was a broken section, one of these sides here. I think it was this side where it was actually broken free. So I had to glue it back and sand all of this. So there was a number of little things, but tiny little things. But you really got to take your time and do those. So while this body is now ready, for the most part, I got a little bit of tweaking to do. Interior's kind of sitting right here. Got my directions here. And also when I was doing these, I had multiple sets of decals made, which I'm glad I did. Terry made these decals by Terry before he passed away. He made me 4 sets. So he scanned the originals, which I have somewhere around here, and made me 4 sets of them. And I'm glad he did because I ended up needing them on this one more than one set. So got 2 more sets here to use on this one, which is going to be Monica Orange. And then here's the chassis and engine. And I pretty much was just copying what I did before. These valve covers and this carburetor are from the AMT 70 Camaro, 70.5 Camaro Baldwin Motion, which is funny because you're looking at these valve covers. That kit is 1/25th scale, right? And this model kit is 1/24th scale. No, it's actually 1/25th scale, according to the thing, but it seems a bit bigger than that. But these valve covers fit right on the original engine, so didn't really have to do a whole lot there. One thing I do want to do is I want to cut this control arm or the knuckle, move it up to lower the front suspension a little bit. The rear suspension seems fine. I'm dealing with mock-up there, but this is pretty much done and ready to go for the most part. So this is ready. And then some of the other things, like I had an issue with this, so I did the same modification here. Just cut this away and moved it back because these valve covers are a little taller and it hit this. So I did modify that a little bit. And then in my parts collecting, these are also from the, there's definitely a mixture here. So I've got, here's a couple of the wheels and tires to show you. These are the Revell Goodyear Blue Streaks that you see in a lot of the kits. I love these tires. And they fit these Krager wheels, which I believe these wheels were also from the 70.5 Camaro Baldwin Motion. And then the Revell wheel backs. Now these fit this really well. And they also fill out the wheel well pretty good for these widened ones here. And they're just a much better tire. And I had these set up, but the fronts, they sit kind of high like that, which I do like, and it's pretty much period correct for 69 because they really didn't slam the front end down a little bit, but I just want to lower just a little bit more and get it down there. So that's what I want to do with these. So I got these wheels, I got the Fly Eye air cleaners, a couple of different ones here from the different kits. So one's from that one, the other one is from the AMT Camaro. And then my back window is in here. That's what this is. And that's my pattern I made for the back window. So there's my back window for the glass because the GT glass is flat. And then also scourging parts here. These are the headers and side pipes that are in the race versions of this kit. I'll throw a box up here. I got one of them. I got 3 or 4 of them now. But when I found out that these headers and side pipes are in those kits, along with racing seats and a bunch of other racing parts, there's actually a lot more parts. I did a kit comparison video of these kits, the stock ones, but I ended up getting all of the race ones too, so I can, get some of those parts and got the headers. So I'll show you some more pictures. So there's going to be some photos at the very end. So thank you for watching and checking those out. So you'll see some of the build of this and this body and what it looked like. So for that, thank you for tuning in and subscribing and all your comments. I really do appreciate it, and listening to me ramble about some of this stuff. And you guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Saturday.